Hello guys and dolls, how are you? I wasn't planning on doing a video, but honey, somebody made me so mad I wanted to choke the piss out of him. And I'm just saying. Let's see here. Whew, we're not even gonna go on that page. So this fool said, and yes, I had to to entertain myself, I decided to go on a dating site to read profiles. Because I wasn't gonna, I can't message them anyway unless I get a free message, because they make you pay, because they ain't really wanting you to connect to nobody unless you pay money. And I'm not gonna pay money to be ignored. I could get that for free. So, it's down from 2016. Okay, so. Okay, there's just entirely too many statistics on here, but anyway. So from what I read, okay, first of all, there's a couple things that I don't like about things that guys present online, okay? For example, and it's gonna sound harsh, so I'm warning you in advance, it's gonna sound harsh. We don't want to hear about your wife dying. I don't want to hear it. I don't want to hear it. Too many men are using that as a sympathy ploy. I've already been down that road before, and I want to go down that road no more. I don't even deal with men online, but I'm just talking about in the past, because the men online are just useless. All right? And we'll get to the one who I wanted to strangle, but we'll get to him in a minute. So that's a ploy that they use to manipulate you to feel sorry for them. The first thing out of your mouth should not be, my wife died. Shut up about that. That did not come up in conversation naturally. You pulled her out of the casket and forced her into the situation. Hey, dead wife, meet Susie. Susie, this is the dead wife. Why don't you fucking chill? Let the woman rest in peace. Now, if this comes up in normal conversation, were you married? Yeah, I was. I got kids. I got grandkids. Really? Oh, okay, cool. Well, were you married? Yeah, I was. She passed away. That's how you do that. I don't want to hear that you, well, like I said, I don't deal with them no more anyway. But I have noticed that men use that as a springboard. They use the wife's death as a springboard to jump off of her coffin into your bed. And this is what one guy said. She was dying of cancer, and she wasn't able to have sex. The woman is losing her life, and all you think about is your dick? Are you serious right now? Isn't that typical, though? It's typical. Your wife dying should not come out of your face within 5 minutes of meeting somebody. Shut up about it. Shut up! Because you're coming off like you're trying to get some sympathy poon. Okay? Just knock it off. Look. Let it come up on its own in natural conversation. On its own. Hi, what's your name? Susie. What's your name? Brian. Nice to meet you. My wife died. I'm telling you right now, those of you that are doing this, knock it off. There's nothing cute about it. Knock it off. And you're trying to get a poon pass, knock it off. You're trying to get sympathy poon. We're not dumb. There's no other legitimate reason for you to bring that up in 5 seconds of meeting somebody. And there's no reason for it to be on your profile. Period. Shut up. Unless somebody asks you. I noticed that one of your questions that you answered said that you were married for 25 years. What happened? Oh, my wife passed. Oh, okay. You let it be natural. Don't force it into the conversation. All right? I'm done with that topic. Now, God, I can't stand that. Oh! So I'm really cold-blooded towards that. I'm like, okay, your wife died. I don't know her. I don't care. I don't want to hear it. And somebody is a malignant narcissist if they're more worried about, she's The dying wife is puking her guts out, her hair's falling out, she's sick as hell from chemo, and you're worried about your damn dick? I didn't get sex. Really? We should have amputated your penis so you don't have to worry about ever having sex again. Problem resolved. She's losing her life and all you care about is you. That sounds about right. Anyway, so I seen on this dude's, I've insulted him so bad, I've been laughing hysterically to the point of tears. He had the nerve to say he's not a good looking guy, which alone isn't a deal breaker. But when you're ugly on the outside and you're ugly on the inside, surgeons can fix the outside, but they damn sure can't touch the inside. They can't do nothing with the inside. So that's a double ugly, and that's a double hell no. He had the nerve to say, y'all so busy choosing men who are good looking, and you overlook people like us, and I understand why 70% of black women are not married, and that. Excuse me? Excuse me, Jerry Curl motherfucker, what did you just say? What the fuck did you just say? First of all, bitch, your ass is on a dating site because you're single. You ain't married, number one. Number two, you're not a Greek god. It's not like you fine as hell. And then you're double ugly. Like I said, you're ugly on the inside out. That's even worse. Okay? Number three, what in the hell possessed you to think it's okay to insult people, and how much luck do you think you're going to get with women when you come off to them in an insulting manner? How many women are going to take their clothes off and jump all over you when you're insulting them? Tell me, how many women? Exactly. 0. That's how many women you're going to get when you insult the shit out of people. Okay? So, first of all, the divorce rate in the United States is 50%. Right? It depends on what study you go for. It depends on what you find. Different studies may say different things. But what I saw says that the divorce rate is 50%. Okay? All right. Let's see here. Almost 50% of all marriages in the U.S. will end in a divorce or separation. Researchers estimate that 41% of all first marriages end in divorce. So I don't know where in the hell he gets off at acting like marriage is the gold standard of success. Are you retarded? You're not married, dumbass. You're not married. Surprise! You ain't married. Okay? Yoda? Your ass is not married. So shut up. You can't even get laid. Now let me explain you how this works, okay? Yoda looking motherfucker. First of all, as long as we got a hole, somebody wants to be in it. Let me say that again. As long as we got a hole, somebody wants up in there. We could literally get anybody we want to. Will he be worth keeping around? Probably not. Because what we get to choose from is not good. Alright? We got to choose from the same pool that he came from, which is not really, you know, something that you want to brag and take home to your parents. Look what I found. They'll be like, okay, get in the kitchen. We need to talk to you. Where the hell did you find that thing at? Right, exactly. Marriage is not the gold standard. The fact that women are choosing to be single. Women are choosing not to date. Women are choosing not to get engaged. Women are choosing to cut the date off before it even starts because you were showing your dumb ass before the date even happened. Which happened to me the other day. He turned into a hypersexual pervert. Alright? Even though he can't do nothing because his hip is bothering him. He was using a medical injury to get a poon pass. I'm not the right person you want to talk to about chronic pain. I got pain every day of my life. So I don't really want to I don't give a flying rat's ass about your stupid hip. First of all, men ain't got the pain tolerance that God gave a leaf on a tree. You ain't got no goddamn pain tolerance, number one, because if y'all had to have a freaking kid, you'd rather commit suicide because you can't even handle the common cold. All right? Somebody hand me the remote control. I can't call the priest in for last rites. I'm dying. He's dying because he got hip problems. Why don't you try chronic neck pain, back, hand, pain from all my surgery areas, tenderness in my leg when I hurt my leg well over a year ago? Do you see me crying about it? You do not. I don't want to hear about your pathetic hip. It ain't gonna stop you from getting somebody to try to service you. You trying to get them to service you. All of a sudden, you good. You admitted to popping it off thinking about me the other night. Oh, did I go there? Yes, I did. So when your muscles clench because you're shooting it off, you're not having any pain then, despite your muscles doing this number because you're losing it. All of a sudden, you can make a medical concession for that. It don't hurt now because I'm popping my lid. Anyway, we're firing your dumb ass before the first date. So you damn sure know that we're not going to marry you when we don't even like you. Okay? The basket that we got to choose from is filled with losers. Losers. Okay? Shut up like that's a gold standard. And let's talk about what Lee was talking about on one of his videos. Lee Hammock, Hammock. He's a self-aware narcissist. He's a smart man. He's a smart man because he went to therapy and he got to the bottom of why his brain is... He went to get therapy for it. Nobody else is responsible to do that. He's one in a gabillion, all right? I will always commend him for being intelligent and taking full responsibility for how he treats other people. He was talking about generational curses. He was talking about, you know, your auntie, your uncle, your grandma, your grandpa, they've been married for 40 years, 50 years, and you aspire to have that. Why? You don't know what's going on behind closed doors. You don't know what they went through. You know that around Thanksgiving, everybody's all smiles. You know that around Christmas time, everybody's all smiles. Hey, Merry Christmas, ding! You don't know what the hell they've been through for all these years. You don't know if there's been affairs, unwanted pregnancy. You don't know. I got news for you. Everything that glitters is not gold. Okay? Everything that glitters is not gold. All right? I know of a lady, well known on YouTube. I'm not going to say who she is to respect her privacy, but her grandparents been married for 50, I think it was, 50 some odd years? Guess what? One of them was Mike Tyson. The other one was Sugar Ray Leonard. They used to physically fight each other, fist fight each other during their marriage until one of them eventually died. You want to aspire for that just to say that you're married? Hell no. You better watch what you want because you might get it and you might hate it. Okay? I had a friend who was married to a guy who hated her guts. They physically fought. But they were married. What does that have to do with the price of tea in China? That ain't the gold standard. Okay? That's not the gold standard. What the hell's wrong with you? You're not even going to get laid, my friend. You don't got to worry about marriage. You're never going to even get freaking laid. Because your attitude is horrific. Okay? And there's so many men trying to get all up in and through us that we could just pick and choose who we want to be bothered with because they're still going to always chase us. I don't care if a man is 80 years old, his thing ain't jumped up in 40, 50 years, 60 years, he's still smacking a nurse on her butt in a nursing home or pinching her butt or saying something sexy to her, even though he couldn't perform if you paid him. But that's a man's nature to go after women. All right? So if we choose to not be bothered with you, it ain't like they ain't coming after us. It's because we don't want to be bothered with your ass. And when you start insulting people, you dumb bastard, that is the reason we don't want to be bothered. Because you can't stand us. It doesn't have nothing to do with your looks. Everybody who's married, my eyes watering, everybody who's married is not fine. Ugly men get married too. But he treated her like a princess. So she felt like, I could go with this guy who's not really great looking, but he treats me very well. My friends are jealous of how good he treats me. Or I could go with Mr. Fine Ass, who ain't never been faithful, who might be bringing home diseases to me every night because he can't keep his pants up. But everybody's gooing and oohing and at how fine he is. I'm going to take the guy that don't look so great because he treats me well. And when you throw in insults, you're not even going to get a poon pass. You're not even going to get sympathy poon. Not if she has a brain in her head. If she's a dumbass, she'll give you some. Marriage is not the gold standard. And anybody who thinks that is stupid. Stupid. You tested positive for stupid. All right? Marriage is not romantic. Marriage is a business contract. It is a business, a legal contract. Which is why, because it's a contract, that's why you have to get an attorney to get it over with. Unless you know how to file papers on your own. Because it's a big deal. So you have to go through the court systems to get it done. You know why? Because it's a contract. Just like if you pay somebody to do the roof on your house, they require a deposit. You gave them a deposit. You signed a contract, okay? Y'all are, contracted. You're contracted. You hired them. It's a contract. You got your name on it. They got their name on it. It's sealed in ink, okay? They required X amount of thousands of dollars up front. You paid it. Boom, they disappeared. You know why? Because they felt like it, but what they also didn't think about is they signed a contract. Y'all signed a contract, which is an agreement. If somebody reneges on that contract, you sue them in court. If they can find them. Because they might be in the wind under a different name. Because they may have a habit of doing this to people. Taking your money and running away. All right? But it's a business contract. Marriage is no different. Okay? If something happens to that person, hopefully there will be life insurance to cover you when they're gone. Cover the funeral and cover whatever, Social Security, what their pension or whatever could cover you. Y'all been married for X amount of years. You're covered when something happens to them, or they're covered if something happens to you. It's a contract. I got your back. You got my back. If something happens to you, you're covered. If something happens to me, you're covered. I'm covered. Whatever the case is. It's a business contract. There's nothing romantic about it. Okay? It's a contract. Society will hump your brain, leading you to believe it's this fantasy island. You put on this gown, he puts on a tuxedo, you kiss under the stars, you say I do, and oh my God, we run off into the sunset together. You got to be shitting me. That's one day. That's a party. That's not a marriage. That's a wedding. The work starts after you say I do. Anybody can have stars in their eyes and get married. Anybody could do that. There's a guy that killed his wife on a wedding night. You know why? Because he couldn't get her wedding gown off. So much for romance. She had on like a corset type of deal with her gown, her wedding gown. Had a whole slew of buttons on it. He couldn't undo the buttons. He was getting frustrated. He killed her. So much for romance. Okay? There's another woman. These are true stories. They got married. They went hiking. She shoved him off a cliff and killed him. They'd only been married for like, what? A day? If that? Maybe a couple days later? I can't remember. Not long after they got married, she shoved him off a cliff. There was a guy who was a doctor. The day that they got married, the same night, he killed her. I think he killed her and then killed himself. So much for romance. Stop getting that fantasy in your head and stop telling people that that's the gold standard, because that's a bunch of freaking bullshit. You married the wrong person. You married Satan. And there ain't nothing romantic about that. I promise you. There's nothing romantic about marrying the devil. And if you marry the wrong person, you've married the devil. I love you guys. Mwah. Talk to you later. Bye.